Number 5. Dolly the sheep made history.
The first living, breathing clone of an adult mammal.
Dolly was the very first mammal cloned from adult cells. Scottish researchers took a somatic cell from the mammary glands of one adult sheep, fused them to unfertilized egg cells from another sheep, and implanted the cloned embryo into one more sheep. It took 277 tries. Number 4. There is hope in cloning extinct animals. Even as we speak, scientists are working on cloning a woolly mammoth, using tissue samples from a well-preserved carcass found in Siberia. Believe it or not, scientists actually succeeded in cloning an extinct animal before, the Pyrenean ibex, extinct since the year 2000. Using the last ibex's frozen cells, scientists tried the same technique used to create Dolly, and a surrogate mother of a similar species. The process was a qualified success. The clone died minutes after birth due to lung defects. The experiment may not have ended well, but it did show that there is hope for species de-extinction. Number 3. A South Korean lab will clone your pet. Okay, let's say your Shih Tzu just died. You now have 5 days to get a vet to extract some tissue samples and ship them off to Seoul, South Korea, where Suam Biotech will make you a Shih Tzu number 2. However, it's gonna cost you about $100,000 US. Number 2. The first animal ever cloned was a sea urchin. That famous sheep may have been the first animal cloned from adult cells, but technically the first animal ever to be cloned was a sea urchin, way back in the 1880s. German biologist Hans Driesch experimented on a 2-celled sea urchin embryo by dividing it into 2 embryonic cells. This experiment showed that each cell in the embryo is pluripotent, meaning it has its own set of genetic instructions and can turn into a full organism, as in the case of twins. Number 1. Human cloning is widely outlawed. This might come as a downer, but despite the wild claims of a few small groups, there's no proof of cloned humans ever being created. Many countries and states make a distinction between cloning for reproductive purposes and for therapeutic purposes, and create laws to restrict or prohibit one or both.
Today I am issuing a directive that bans the use of any federal funds for any cloning of human beings.
People and lawmakers are mostly concerned with the ethical questions that human cloning raises. For instance, if you clone yourself, would you be able to steal your clone's organs when yours falter? Or if we really start playing with the human genome, wouldn't that open the door to eugenics?